So, this is definitely a game that I've played in the past before. Been over a year, so I'm not very good at it anymore. I never beat Farewell because I suck. But that's not why we're here today. We're here for I suppose you could say a very specific reasoning. And I think you all know what that is. So, if we're going to go atmospheric, we'll go atmospheric. That's just how we roll nowadays. This is a very beautiful game. It's a game that makes me think. It's a game that makes me wonder. And it's a game that I can relate to. It's a game where, despite its difficulty, you can still overcome it. That's the lesson of a game like this. Maybe that's the lesson that Madeline here goes on. There are many things that we're not ready to see in this life. And honestly, that could describe my year very well. So how about we talk about that year? And what's to come next year? So where do I even begin? I don't really think there is an actual place that we can start because there's way too many things to talk about. Which is unfortunate, but that's the situation that I put myself in throughout the course of this year. Now I'm just hoping that the audio here is not too loud because we just want to have a conversation. The two of us. The three of us. The five of us. When this year began, I was still a college student. I was still living in Minnesota. I had aspirations in life. I'm not entirely sure where those aspirations might have led, but maybe they could have led somewhere that I could have done something with. I'm not sure. The more I think about what life could have been, the worse off I think I become. There were a lot of secrets that I held from the channel, from the people around me, from the people who thought that they knew me. But that's just not how things wanted to go for me, I guess. You see, when all this started, I was in college for computer science. I was ready to see where life took me on a major that I did not have a choice in. That's how I ended up feeling unloved. Afraid of what was to come. Afraid of what it might all mean for me later. But that was not a new feeling. I had felt lost for the past 5 years. 5 years I felt lost. Ever since 2020 and what that did to all of us. 2020, with that pandemic, led me to begin thinking about my life. Led me to think about myself in a much more critical fashion. I guess that's the word to use. In a way that I could feel like I'd been doing something wrong my whole life. And when I looked at myself and I looked at the people around me, I realized that I was. I had a lot of thoughts spiraling within me. Thoughts that perhaps I shouldn't have had. But other people. And that's a problem I had to deal with for a while. But beyond that, I realized that I'm not who I was presenting myself to be. I've never once been able to authentically be myself. Not even on the channel. Because of the people that I knew watched it. My friends and family that I knew for a long time watched it, knew the exact people that I knew I could never let this information get out to. In January of 2021, I realized something massive about myself. That I was trans. That I identified as a girl, as a woman. She, her pronouns, the whole shebang, LGBTQ community. And I knew my family could never accept that. Any of the friends I had made in that entire time would never be able to accept that. And so for 4 years I laid sheltered. Remaining by myself. On my lonesome. With no one to turn to, with no one to talk to. Other than the people that I met online. People that I grew to trust. With every fiber of my being. Because when you have anonymity, you would be surprised at what you become capable of sharing with other people. When you don't have that feeling of consequence, you end up trusting people more. Maybe that's why people have more online friends than, quote-unquote real friends. But in January I realized I was trans. And upon realizing that, I started making a couple of changes. I began growing out my hair. I tried to shave more often, but I was never allowed to shave. Anytime I tried, I was shot down. Anytime I wanted to be myself, I was shot down. Anytime I wanted to express myself, I was shot down. Anytime I tried to tell my parents that I might have a problem, I was shot down. Any depression, any mental diagnoses that I might have needed, it was always shot down. Because they couldn't fathom having an imperfect child. And that was the situation I wound up in. A situation of hopelessness like no other. Hopelessness that I wish that no one had to go through. But that's what I felt. And it's a miracle that I didn't just kill myself. I almost did. I really almost did. 4 years ago, I could have just been a bloodstain. But I didn't. Because I had a friend, who I've never even met in person, who isn't even a friend with me anymore. But that friend saved my life back then. And allowed me to be here now talking to you over this dumbass metal ledge. And well, I guess it changed my outlook. Because I too have lost friends to suicide, to murder, to a lot of things. And the pain that I felt in those losses is something that I don't want anybody to ever experience ever again. So I made the vow that I would never hurt myself, that I would never kill myself no matter how bad things got, that no matter how bad things got, you could keep moving forward. Like Madeline here. Madeline's trans too. How convenient. Perhaps by sitting by a campfire we can talk a little more. 2021 I created a character to represent me. With black hair, with red eyes, with a hoodie and sweatpants. A character that represented me and my mental state for the years to come. That character became me. Became the ideal that I wished to reach. One day in my life, I don't know when. But my later teenage years were filled with isolation, with dread, with constant mental struggles, anxiety, depression, stress. Things that nobody ever noticed besides the people who were too far to do anything about it. The people who were right there ignored it. Deemed it unnecessary. Deemed it unreasonable that I could feel those things when my life was so good. Good in whose eyes, I wonder? Because it was never good in mine. I turned 18 the following year in 2022. It was there I began to expand my horizons past YouTube. Doing different things on the internet that I keep separate from this channel. That I'm going to always keep separate from this channel. Less things change, but for right now, that's just how things are going to be. But it was through that effort that I met some of my closest friends in the world. And someone who I love with all my heart. I'm sure they're watching this video. I know they are. They would do a lot for me, and I would do a lot for them. And that's just how things work out. This is a fucking plane, I just realized. What the hell? Did you crash this goddamn thing, bro? Like, what the hell are you doing here? I mean, I get why are you here, but like, really? A plane? Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. When I turned 18, it was not any different, really. Still in high school, still ready to just go down the path my parents had set out for me. To be the man of the house, to care for them for all my life. My dreams and aspirations tossed into the dirt and deemed useless. Forced into a major I didn't want, and they can say all they want that they gave me the choice, but they didn't. And they never did. And I knew that if I came out to them as pansexual, as transgender, I knew what was going to happen. I knew what would happen. If I just said that, it would just be tossed away like every other time. So I kept my mouth shut. Out to only the people I could trust, the closest people I knew. Living a fantasy on the internet, where I could be myself. Becoming addicted to the internet. Never wishing to be away from it. Away from this channel so I didn't have to look at my ugly face. That right there was the life I had begun to live. In 2024, I met another group of people. someone else who I love with all my heart. A few of them even. And friends I can never trade for the world. That allowed me to feel a sense of community for the first time in a long time. A sense of belonging. A sense of being wanted. Even now I struggle to imagine that people really want me around. Even now I wonder if I'm just a useless waste of space. If I'm even worth living, if I'm even worth saving. But as time goes on, I'd like to think that I am. Everything I do for the people around me, for the people I love and care about, I would die for them. I really would. And that's why I'm here. And then we enter this year. I'm in my second year of college of 3. I've just gotten into my major and I was ready to graduate the year after. I don't know if I had plans for the channel during that time, but if I did, I never did anything with them. Because, well, the mental rut I fell into during the summer of this year was one of the worst in my life. And in July I began to plan. In July I began to do something that I had already planned to do the year prior. I would run. I would run from home. Far away with the help of another friend of mine. I had to transfer my job. I had to leave in secret. I had to enlist the help of 4 different people. All while knowing that at any moment it could have gone terribly, terribly wrong. That I could be left stumbling, struggling, end up dead, end up imprisoned by my parents for life. But it worked. As I speak to you now, I'm still in that new place, away from the shackles of my past. This December 2025, after Christmas has come and gone, as New Year's approaches again, for the 8th time I've made these videos. I'm feeling empowered in a way that I haven't before. I'm on estrogen now, and anti-androgens. I've only just started. I still need to go through voice training. But for once I feel like I'm in a better position. For once I feel like my mental health is stabilizing. For once I can feel stable, happy. There's still problems. I still have that lingering anxiety that I'm a useless person, that I'm a worthless friend, that people around me would be better without me. That's just a feeling I'm always going to live with. And any little mistake I make, it makes me scream internally. Even the tiniest of mistakes, whether it's at work or back home here, with my roommates. I feel that the one tiny mistake will make it all come crashing down. This wonderful dream that I finally was able to achieve, to just be myself. I dropped out of college, happily ready to just work a retail job. I actually quite like it at this store. Most people dread working retail, but my coworkers and managers here really help make it worth it. The fact I can feel happy to just come attempt to work is insane for me to think about, as difficult as it is. And well, even if the anxiety remains, even if I feel as if all this might just be temporary, and that true difficulty is around the corner, I don't know. I feel like shit sometimes when I say no to people. When I tell people no, when I tell people that I can't do something, when I strive to do as much as I possibly can for people, it makes me feel terrible. Though I will never back down, and when I say no, the fact that it lingers with me as long as it does. I guess it's a sign that I still have a lot of problems with people-pleasing that I need to work out. And that I need to focus on myself first and foremost. But we keep going. So, what is to come for next year then? Honestly, I'm not sure. But I guess that's been my answer for a long time now, hasn't it? But I guess... But I suppose that just comes with the trade, doesn't it? I don't know if I'll be making anything on the channel, but I really do want to. Now that I have the freedom to actually make something, I want to. Because that kind of freedom isn't something I've had in a very long time. The freedom to create. Although maybe the stuff I create on my channel will be different. I'm a writer outside of all of this. Maybe, and I'd like to share the work that I've created over time. Even if I am no artist at all. I don't need to be. I'd like to show the world my stories for what they are. And, well... Well, I know that won't be easy to really share because it is a very complicated mess of stories. It's still something I'd like to share. I want to do something with Terraria and Minecraft both properly. And best of all, I'd like to make more videos with my friends. My friends who have had my back since the very beginning. Through thick and thin. No matter what it is that I was doing, no matter what it is that I was saying, I could always count on them to have my back. That's why I love them so much. Plus, I think they're pretty entertaining, all things considered. We get up to some of the most random shit all the time. And I think I work best on camera when I have somebody with me. Someone to actually banter off of. Someone who understands my kind of humor. And someone that most importantly you guys can enjoy seeing all the time. That's so much to ask for? I don't think so. I had said previously that I wanted to make review videos. Maybe that'll still happen, maybe it won't. I'd said in the past that I wanted to... Look, if I'll be frankly honest with you, I don't actually remember what else I said in the past videos. I didn't really watch them. I know, right? I'm such a fraud. But really, all things considered, it's going to be the same deal. I'll upload when I want to, but you may have noticed the rebrand on my channel as well. The Hypertuber is no more. I am the Northern Cassette. I want to do the Midwest Cassette, but I no longer live in the Midwest, so wouldn't really fit. But I do still live in the North, which is good enough. It's good enough for me. It will always be good enough for me. And for as long as I keep breathing, and for as long as I keep living, the cassette tape will keep on rolling. For those of you who stuck it out this far, I know this is a bit of a shorter version of what I usually do, but I didn't have much else to say this time. I wanted my thoughts to just be out there. I wanted you all to know what had really been going on with me over all this time. And here I am now. My name is Azalea. I use she, her pronouns. I'm 21 years old. And I keep moving, despite what life dishes out at me. Just like Madeline here. And just like Madeline, no matter how difficult things get, we have people around us that will lift us back up. And that's what happened with me. And I'm so eternally grateful for the people that I have around me. For people that I could never trade for the world. And for the 2 people that have wronged me more than I could count in my life. If you're making the effort to fix what's been broken, I will give you that chance. I truly will, because I want things to go back to normal. When I could wake up in bed at my parents' home and feel excited for the day to come. To not want to dread being around them, to not want to be afraid to talk to them. To just have love again. That's all I want now. There's so much hatred in the world. Hatred from the administration, from just the people around us. The amount of hatred has increased because we feel it gives us power, it gives us purpose. But it doesn't do anything. It just makes us hate each other. In a world that is so deeply divided already, the more hatred there is, the worse off we will be. We're entering 2026, and at least for my life in this channel, it's a brand new era. If I can find the time for it, I will make more videos. I'll make them higher quality. I want them to be something I can be proud of to be posted. No matter what that might take. And even if I don't make anything, you can at least look forward to these little annual end-of-year messages. As has always been the case for this channel. There's nothing else to say, really. This is the Northern Cassette. Ready to keep moving with you guys in tow. I'm happy to be back. I love all of you. And for the people that have helped me get to this point, I love all of you so much. Until next time, always, always keep the cassette tape rolling. No matter what it takes. I'll see you all in 2026. Goodbye.